Yeah. Or whatever.
Yeah, bro. I mean, I was thinking of like an intro to like. Do you usually keep the same intro for every episode? It doesn't. It just matters however you want to do it.
It depends on the podcast. Most of the podcasts that I work on, they do have the same intro song.
Like some like song too.
Yeah, like a jingle or something. Or just something because you want it to be like repetitive.
Yeah.
So like if you listen to like any of the top podcasts, a lot of them they'll do like a cold open, so they'll just like
start talking.
But then some of them they have like a intro music, da.
Yeah.
So it depends on what you want. Really.
But you know what's crazy? I don't even listen to like comedy podcasts like that. Like,
do you listen to podcasts?
I love like Andrew Huberman shit.
Okay.
And like his stuff just starts off with like, "Hi, I'm Andrew Huberman."
Yeah.
And then
you just hear him rustling his fingers.
Yeah.
The circadian rhythm.
yeah. Exactly, bro.
Yeah.
Mine was gonna be like this. Is what I was thinking. I was like,
it's gonna be black and white. It's gonna be like the Jocko podcast.
Imagine. Yeah, Jocko Wilson, and I'm talking about dick jokes. Yep. Welcome to Creating Consciousness with I'm your host Jesse Singh. Let me try that again. Fuck that. Welcome to Creating Consciousness. I'm your host Jesse Singh. This is a podcast where we explore different avenues of creativity, how it can work and function in our day-to-day lives. Along the way, I'm going to be having some beautiful guests. We're going to have comedians, poets, musicians, all of the above, therapists even. So if you're into creativity, if you're into learning about mental health, and if you just want to share a good laugh, tune in. Bless.
Boom.
Sick.
Yeah.
That's basically the start of it.
Yeah.
Nah, I was thinking I could change it up. Like
if you want to do something like that, that you can change.
Yeah,
right? Like what I was saying for the music, it's just like, it's like a theme song. Like when you watch your TV show, it's the same.
A little jingle and shit at the back. Bro, honestly, like we could even keep this in it because this was like the grassroots of the fucking episode.
That's what I love.
Yeah, bro.
I like building it from the mud.
Yeah, bro. Also, shout out to Dante. He's behind the camera, co-producer, host, everything. Yeah, bro. Honestly, fam, this was like a long time coming, like the podcast idea I had. But it's crazy because like, bro, this happened even when we were talking, like when you were first time trying stand up or like anyone that I spoke to that wanted to try stand up and was afraid, they always talked about like the fear of public speaking, like getting on stage and all of that shit.
Yeah.
And it's weird because I never understood it. I was nervous about doing comedy, but I was more nervous about just day-to-day interactions. Like I felt like I've talked about this before, and I feel like a lot of comedians have this same energy or feeling as well, where it's like they feel a lot more introverted in social settings. But then on stage, you feel a lot more comfortable. And that's where my mindset was also at, where it's like networking and things of that nature, I felt like I always had a hard time. But on stage, I was okay. But then shit like this, like sitting in front of a camera and talking to the ether, I was terrified, bro.
Why though? What is terrifying about talking to the ether?
I don't know, like it's
to me it's fun, but I'm also crazy.
Yeah, I mean, bro, I have conversations with myself all the time.
Yeah.
You need to, but I think it's like the idea of like comedy has live feedback.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when you're a musician or like you're making songs and shit, you don't know, or like at least for your, like you can like the song you made, obviously you can love what you made, but then you won't know the reception you're going to get until that song is released.
Okay.
Same thing with comedy where it's like I have material that I think is going to work.
Yes.
But then a lot of the time when you're on stage, it sounds completely different than what it sounded like in your head.
True.
But I know right away.
Yeah.
If I do it and it doesn't work, I know right away if this has potential or if this is like scrap the idea.
Yeah.
This felt like the whole music aspect of it, where it's like it wasn't even so much the nerves. Like I feel like fear is the wrong word because it wasn't even like nervousness. It was like this anxious feeling of like as I would start talking, I would literally blank.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, what do I say now? Like, you know what I mean? And then it was just this dead air. And I'm like, I can't release an episode where like 5 minutes I'm just like silent. You know, like on
I've done that.
Really?
Yeah.
And you just work through it, I guess?
I don't care about that stuff.
Damn, bro.
So my background before the podcasting stuff was live streaming. So I
Yeah.
used to live stream on Twitch like 2015.
Like games and shit.
Games and stuff, right? So there's dead air. If I'm not doing anything, I'm just,
Bro, that's crazy.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And you get someone in the chat, then you start going back and forth and da 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 da. But
Yeah.
you know, my stream wasn't booming like that. So
Yeah, yeah.
I was mostly silent.
Yeah. Bro, honestly, but I think this helped. Like having you, right?
Yeah,
like having,
for
even
sure.
though you're not in the frame.
Yeah.
This could easily just look like I'm talking to AI.
Well, that's also, I think, part of what makes it easier because it's me and you having the conversation.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, because I was doing a solo podcast and I know I'm not talking to someone like that's in the room, but the way I would imagine it is like I'm talking to whoever may eventually listen to this episode.
Yes.
Right? So they're
Yeah.
not there right now, but eventually they might. So that's who I'm talking to.
And like kind of going off of what you think a question or a response that person might have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I'll like have my own questions about what I'm saying and then
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
a little
bro.
bit crazy. I want to put that on record.
Yeah.
I'm crazy.
I mean, I feel like every artist is, bro. But
Yeah.
I think that's what that's what I mean. That's why I think I didn't want it to be a comedy podcast per se.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, the comedic elements are going to be in it because it's natural. I'm a comedian. That shit's going to pop up.
Yeah.
But I think the main focus was I wanted to find a way to enmesh the two things of that is like very much apparent in my life. There's the stand-up comedy aspect, then there's the youth work aspect. And both of them I've been doing for like 12 plus years.
Sick.
And over time, you notice that like obviously this is something that's like I would say it's common knowledge, at least for most people, but the era that we're in now, right, we're in a generation where it's way easier to consume more than it is to create shit.
Yeah.
Right? Like dopamine addiction is a real thing. And this is feeding into that, right? But I'm doing this because I want people to watch, consume the product. But then at the same time, it's like the creative process of it is what I think is what I want people to hear, right?
Yeah.
Like the people coming up talking about their start in music, poetry, therapy, whatever it is, and all of that shit, even like comedy as well, right? And how like that process through it, how it just helped them on a day-to-day basis as well.
So, question for you then,
Yeah.
because you know that as a society we consume so much, right? So like, how do you reconcile that you're producing something that's meant to be consumed? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
How do you like? I don't want people to consume so much, but here's more cake.
Yeah. I mean, bro, I think the way I would try to reconcile that is that like I'm not oblivious of the fact that I am a cog in the machine, right? But I think the difference is that you can still choose what you want to consume, and if I can make a product that is a little bit more digestible, where people can take something away from it,
100%.
I'd rather do that.
Yeah.
Like, you know, because there's a lot of fuck shit on the internet.
Yep.
Plethora, if you want to see that.
Yeah.
Right?
Unlimited.
Yeah. That ass, bro. Unlimited. So, but if I could make something where someone could just listen to it and like, that's why we were talking about it earlier, like the Andrew Huberman shit.
Yeah.
Right? That's a product that I consume pretty regularly, but there also are things that I've taken away from it.
For
the
sure.
cold shower shit, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if I can't do the waking up early like that. He talks.
He just said
I
it
tried.
takes 3 days. You didn't see that clip?
What do you say?
He said if you can do it 3 days in a row, then it's easier after that because now your body's ready. So the first 3 days are the hardest.
Yeah, but bro, he's also not hitting up mics 3-4 in the morning.
Exactly. That is part of the
You know
thing,
what I mean?
You know what I mean? He's not waking up early or going to bed like super late.
Yeah,
I
bro.
can wake up early. Like, you go to bed at 7:30, dog.
Yeah, of course, fam. And this guy talked about like did you hear about his light thing?
His light, no.
He talks about light exposure and like
Okay.
how it affects your circadian rhythm,
Yeah.
all this shit, right? And he talks about the importance of not having screen time before bed.
Yes.
But like the idea of that also is because when your brain sees light after a certain time, it thinks it's still daylight.
Time, yeah.
So he would take it to extremes. Like he talked about like if he had to go to a grocery store, the man would put on sunglasses. And I'm like, I'm not doing all of that, bro. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you're not trying to fully optimize.
Yeah, bro. I'm not trying to Morpheus this shit, fam. That's
yeah. Well, because like for me, I do a lot of work in front of screens.
Yeah.
Right. And what it is the blue light that you would get from screens.
Yeah, 100%.
But I have like blue light filters on all my devices.
Yeah.
Right? So that everything looks orange. But I'm so used to it now that I don't even see it. And then someone will like look over my shoulder, yo, why is your screen so orange?
Yeah, bro.
This is normal.
Do you find it helped though?
Yeah. I mean, I'm already a night owl. Like,
yeah, bro,
I'm already going to bed 3 a.m., 4 a.m. I got it down to 2 for like the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Like 2 a.m. But it does help.
Yeah.
Because you're still a little bit ramped up after like if you're playing video games or watching
everything,
Netflix
bro.
Or whatever,
Yeah.
Right. So what I've been doing is like the filters.
Yeah.
Right. Put the filters on. Salt lamp so the room is orange. That's a vibe. And then you break up that moment when you're looking at the screen before you're lying in bed.
Yes.
Right. So he's like, oh, make sure an hour.
Yeah.
But like I'll take a shower and then I'll read a book and then I'm like, okay, it's been 30, 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Now I'm chilling now.
Yeah, I get that.
So I don't just like hop right in like, okay, screen and then straight into bed. It's like I buffer it.
Yeah, bro. I think it has to work within like people's means.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And that's why like even the youth work thing, like being there 12 years, like why I want to talk about the mental health aspect, but in my own point of view is because I've been seeing a lot of, you know what I mean? People that aren't in the field, like haven't really had experience therapy or like doing like life coaching type talks. And a lot of them are like super dangerous, bro. Because people listen to this shit and they think it's like simple as like, it's just not dangerous in a sense that I just think people are giving this weird perspective of like, there's all these videos I see of like people talking about like, oh, you could just manifest, right? Manifest your dream life. It's like, dog, if there's a kid that has been through immense amount of trauma, sexual, physical abuse, whatever it is, I'm not going to fucking tell them to like, just think positive. Don't, you know what I mean? Like that stuff's crazy to me, bro.
Yeah.
So I think that's why I also wanted to touch base about that, like the reality of what this actually looks like, but actual tools that will help you get out of where you're from.
Yeah.
Because that stuff is crazy to me, where it's like people giving that type of tips or like advice to people that have, because there's a thing in actual counseling where you can re-traumatize someone.
Really?
Bro, actual therapy, psychotherapists that are like licensed or supposed to, like the good ones, quote unquote, when you're talking to someone who has been through like traumatic experiences through childhood and you're trying to unpack that with them.
Oh, you can like bring it up.
Yeah,
like,
bro. You're not
back in it.
Exactly. Because the actual idea is you're supposed to get the person to talk about their trauma and unpack it so that the feeling comes up, but they don't associate that feeling to like everyday occurrences in their daily life. Right? Like the idea is that like if I had, say for instance, a traumatic experience in childhood and I have this scar left, emotional scar of abandonment. Yeah. Anytime I have a situation that's even closely resembles that, when I'm older, it's going to re-trigger that same feeling, but I'm going to be like, obviously you're going to go from 0 to 100. Yeah. Right? And the idea of therapy is how do we take that moment, let you experience it again in a safe manner, feel what you need to feel so that you don't keep connecting it to all these everyday occurrences, right? So you can let go of it. But like to say that, oh, just get over it or think positively or whatever the case is, or for people to get someone to get to that state when they're not ready yet, you're re-traumatizing them.
Interesting, yeah.
It's like exposure therapy, right? There's the idea of like when you're afraid of something and there's a phobia, the best way to get over your fear is to conquer it, face it, right? But if you're not in a state where you're ready to do that, you're just
You're just scared.
Yeah, bro. You're just gonna put them back in shambles again, bro. Like, it's crazy.
Dang.
Bro, yeah.
Okay, that's fascinating. I never thought about, like, you can just read, like, traumatized.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, because it's like, and like that's the scary thing, right? Is that people don't take that shit into consideration. All these like life coaches or like these fake gurus and stuff that are talking about this stuff are talking about it based off of their own personal experience or their own life. And majority of the time, I'm not saying all of them, but they may have came from circumstances that align to also get to where they need to be.
Interesting.
And I'm not saying that's not a possibility.
Yeah.
Right? And I don't want to, and I'm not like trying to encourage this idea of playing a victim card.
Yeah.
Because that also I think is very dangerous, and I also think that's a problem.
Yeah.
In our current generation.
Yeah.
But there also is the reality of like having to address those situations, right? It's not just about like manifesting positivity.
Yeah.
Right? So how do you get there?
Yeah, what are the tools?
Yeah.
Give me some tools.
Yeah, 100%, bro. Because like you said, it's just otherwise you're just fucking terrified. You know what I mean?
It's wild. All right, so like these people that you see online, like, is it like that they're not like air quotes classically trained? Do you know what I mean? Or is it like they just saw it online, now they're just regurgitating it? Like what?
I think it's more so regurgitating information. I think like this idea of mental health and spiritual healing has become cool. That's what I think is crazy. And I think it's good that it's becoming more popularized and people are getting drawn to it. But I think the danger is that it's become a fad. You know, it's not like, bro, like the idea of healing from past traumas is not like a fun thing.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's crazy, right? Like to think that I'm going to be on this spiritual, even the idea of like meditating, right? I remember when I did like, I'm not on some guru shit either, right? I was only there for like a 7-day silent meditation retreat.
Okay.
It was just 7 days.
Yeah.
That was it. Right. And then after the 7 days, I was getting fucking hammered in Thailand, chilling. You know what I mean? I still went back to the same shit.
Yeah.
But one thing that stood out to me was I remember like the 3rd or 4th day, I was like losing my mind, bro. Cause I was like, it was silent. You couldn't talk, but it's like you woke up every day at 5 a.m. You only ate twice a day, but you had strict meditation practices. So you would wake up, you would do like a yoga exercise, then you would do a 30-minute meditation, then you would do like just walking meditation, which is like you're mindfully just trying to be present and pay attention to how your body is when it walks, breathing, all of that stuff. Yeah. But I remember like the 3rd or 4th day, I was like going nuts because like I was angry. I went there initially because I wanted to work through some shit. And I remember the 3rd or 4th day, like my mind was going nuts and like I couldn't stop it. And I wanted to leave because I'm like, bro, this shit's not working. And the only time someone would talk is in the morning. They would call it Dhamma talks, which is like the monk at the monastery would wake up and he would do like a little sermon. Okay. And then like the 4th day, I remember the man was sat down, he was talking, and he's like, at this point in the retreat, many of you are probably feeling frustrated and want to go home. He just said it, bro. Yeah. Which already tripped me out because I was like, that's crazy. But how often does this happen? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But he's like, at this point, you guys are probably trying, like, frustrated, want to leave, and it's because you feel like you didn't get to where you needed to be. You weren't able to find peace of mind. You weren't able to find tranquility after meditating, so on and so forth. But then he said that's because there is no objective, right? The idea behind meditation is not to achieve enlightenment; it's to let go. Right? Just to let go of everything. Yeah. So it's like, even that as a practice, right? Because they also ask you before you go in. I remember there was like a form where they ask you if you had any underlying mental health issues, if you had any, history of psychosis or psychotic episodes. That's because if you're in a place where you're silent, your mind is running rampant,
Yeah.
and they're telling you to just allow it to do that and observe, for someone that's not in a state that's able to do that, it's very counterproductive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like that's what I mean is like people have made it this fad of like meditation, mindfulness, which I think in hindsight there are beautiful practices, but I think there also is an area of caution and care that needs to be introduced with that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like I'm not that person. I'm not saying I'm a yogi, I'm gonna know what to say, but I just at the very least know enough to say that, you know, I'm not gonna sit here and preach that ideology.
Yeah. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting because like I think you said like the fad, like the making it of like a popular thing, like is bringing it to more people.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is like can be good, but then you have more people that can like kind of fuck it up.
Yeah, dead ass, bro. And what's crazy is that why is suddenly spirituality connected to material wealth? Do you know what I mean?
No,
like a lot of these people that talk about manifesting, it's always manifesting more money, more fucking like success. You want to grow your business, then meditate every day and then you'll grow your business. It's like, what are you talking about, bro? It was never about that.
Okay, maybe thousands of years ago or like whenever, but like, have you ever Think and Grow Rich?
Yeah. Okay, but bro, but what I mean is
that's all they say.
Yeah. That ass, yeah. That's true, bro. It's like, fam, imagine that. Imagine you're on the street, there's a homeless guy with a cup. He's like, yo, fam, just think about $5, bro. Yeah. Think about it, bro.
Think about it. I mean, they are thinking about it.
Yeah.
And let's be real. People do just come and drop money in their cups.
That is that ass. Yeah. But I mean, like, I'm not saying that. I'm saying the idea of that isn't negative.
Yeah.
Right? It's not that it doesn't work.
But that's how it's getting brought to the masses, you say.
Yeah.
Rather than just being silent.
Exactly, bro. Because
tranquilo.
Think about that. In order for that to get popularized in North America, we had to make it capitalistic.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Yeah. But then, you know, if you're already on that path and you're going down that capitalistic path, eventually you'll be like, what is the point of this?
Yeah, bro, you need something to give up. You can't give up nothing, yeah.
Yeah, so like you're like because you're grinding, you're manifesting, you're making all this money, but you went into it through the spiritual path. So now you get all this money and then you're like, okay, now I have this money, now what?
Facts.
That's where the real work starts.
Yeah, that is facts. You need to have something to be able to learn what it is when you let go of it.
Exactly.
Yeah, bro, I agree with that. And I think like even working at the youth shelter or like working with the youth and stuff, you learn a different form of gratitude as well, right? Because like, and I think that was hard. That was a challenge for me in the beginning because it's like what you said is that like you don't realize certain things you have until you see what it is to not have it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And like I've seen a lot of them, mind you, some of the youth come in there and it's just like dumb shit like, oh, my mom won't let me smoke weed in the house. It's like go the fuck home, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, you don't need that.
Yeah.
But then there are actual cases where shit's real.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure.
And what I battled with in the beginning was that I was like getting jaded against the world, bro.
Really? From the job that you were doing?
Yeah, because in the beginning it's like, bro, how can people be so wicked? Like if you're like, you know what I mean? Because you're hearing all these crazy stories about parents not being the greatest of parents or not being a parent at all.
Yeah.
And then you leave your kid to fend for themselves, or like there's situations that you'll hear that are like crazy, right? Like I don't want to go too into it just based off of privacy shit, but when you hear stuff like that, it's like it gets to you, right? And then you have a different like frame of the world. And then when people around you, like say close relatives, relationships, even partners, start complaining about things on your day-to-day life, it almost like you start getting angry because you're like, bro, like how can you be complaining about this right now? Like shit could be way worse.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then I had to learn to get out of that, right? Because it's like it is still real to people, right? Like the whatever they're going through is like to downplay it is also not helpful. Mm-hmm. But what I guess the point I was trying to make earlier was that working there, like even those individuals that had been through like the hardest of periods, this is where the comedy aspect I think tied into it, was that I would do like open mic nights or like talent shows and stuff at the shelter like years ago, and or even just on my day-to-day like life, like while working there, I noticed that majority of the people that had been through the hardest shit, even comedians that have been through the harshest shit, are usually the most funny.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's like, one, it's more relatable, right? Because everyone's been through something and they know how to like almost empathize and find light or humor in those situations. And two, it's like, it's just a strongest form of resilience.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, shit hit the fan to the point where it's like, I have nothing else to do but to laugh at this.
Yeah.
Like, I heard about this recently. Like, Romeo and Juliet was supposed to be a dark comedy.
Okay.
Because if you think about it, it's mod. Like, at the end, I don't remember who it was first, but then Juliet or Romeo, one of them pretend to kill himself.
Yeah, to get into the crypt. And I'm like, wait, you're done too? No.
Yeah. And then she's like, let me actually, you know what I mean? It's like, that's so dumb.
Yeah.
But, bro, imagine having it in real life. You're dumb, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I do agree, like, being able to like turn all that hurt into funny.
Yeah.
Like, it's I don't even know how, like, because I turn some hurt into funny, and I think most people do.
100%.
You know what I mean? But the people that have like just been through it,
yeah,
you know,
bro.
and they still have a smile. They're like, I've been through it, but
yeah.
You know what I mean? And they're just goofing and gaffing and stuff like that. It's like, that stuff's really
Trust me, bro. It's like a different form of inspiration, you know? So, like, that's the people that I look to as being real teachers. And that is the part of, I think, the false narrative or false prophets you see now online. I think that's the part that gets to me, is that, like, when you look at any spiritual leader, even religiously, Jesus wasn't with the royal people. He wasn't with the glamour. He was in the trenches, bro. You know what I mean? He was with the OnlyFans girls. And shit, you know what I mean? Not that there was OnlyFans back then, but like, you know what I mean? Like, that's the shorties he was with.
Yeah.
So it's like, there is a part of spirituality where it's, you find light in the dark parts of living, right? And you bring those people up because they are the true testament of what it means to live a life that is not judgmental. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's like, these guys have been through like living on the streets. They've been mistreated and whatever the case is, and like faced injustice and whatnot. I'm not saying they're angelic people. Like, not everyone is like, you know what I mean? Like the most innocent person.
Yeah.
But it's like, they also have this sense of like, I'm not going to look at someone differently because that's how they looked at me. I'm the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah.
You know, in society's eyes.
Yeah.
But, and it's all, that comedy to me is the same way. Bro, like, anytime you went to like open mics and shit, it wasn't in a nice place.
No, that's how I felt every time I went to Canvas. I was like, this is the bottom of the barrel, dude.
Yeah, bro.
There's just one other guy sitting in the corner.
But that's what I mean, bro. I feel like there's like a symbolism to that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, bro, because stand-ups in like alleyways, in basements, in fucking the dark corridors. Like, metaphorically and realistically, because it's like, you're up there, you're talking about the craziest shit, where your mind goes and you don't want to talk about it out loud, but this is the one place you should be able to.
What an image that just came to my mind is like, we do a lot of the stuff underground. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
It's like, you know how like the bambook grows, like it spends like the first 5 years underground, and then all of a sudden it
just sprouts, bro.
That's like what like doing like open mic comedy is. Like, you're just in basements underground. No one sees you, no one's laughing at anything, and then a few times it hits. Next thing you know, you're
something, bro. Something launches
for the skies,
and then you join the Illuminati and you sell out. That's when the leaves sprout. Oh fuck, bro. No, that's crazy. We actually went through a lot of this shit too. For the people, viewers at home, I have a little notebook of notes that I tried to make on this stuff.
Yeah.
But this actually worked out way more naturally, bro. Thank you.
No
D.
problem. I would like to point out I am a professional.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, sorry. He's not an open mic podcaster, bro. This is a real person.
No.
He's actually he's my Brad Pitt. Not Brad Pitt. Who the fuck was in Fight Club?
I haven't seen Fight Club.
You've never seen Fight Club?
No. No spoilers.
Okay, but have you seen, what's that actor's name, bro? He's crazy. That's crazy. Is it Brad Pitt? No, Brad Pitt's what the hell is?
I've seen the movie.
No, I know, but what Brad Pitt's Mission Impossible.
Tom Cruise.
That's Tom Cruise?
In Mission Impossible.
So Brad Pitt is correct then. Brad Pitt was in
Fight Club.
He was in Fight Club.
Yes.
But what other movies was he in? Name another movie that you would know.
Brad Pitt, he was in Inglourious Bastards.
Yes. Okay, so it is Brad Pitt. I was right. So I was going to say you were like the Brad Pitt to my Edward Norton, but you've never seen the movie, so maybe when you watch it, you'll get what I mean. Fuck. It took me so fucking long to get there and for no payoff, bro.
That's open mic podcasting right now.
For real. But yo, so the other thing I wanted to mention was the therapy and the youth work stuff that I was talking about.
Yeah.
This is what I meant. So like I was actually trying to research this shit.
Is that what book is that?
This is Anatomy of an Illness.
Okay, hold it up like this. A little bit higher.
Can they see it?
Yeah, right there.
Bless. All right, fuck yeah.
I'm gonna turn this second.
I gotta stop cussing, bro. I feel like, I mean, cussing's okay, but anyways,
It's real.
It is real. So this book, like when I was talking about the thing with like resiliency and humor, right? This book was about some dude that had like and it's a true story. It was a dude that had some collagen disease. So his like muscles and like his collagen in his bones were affected.
Okay.
And he was essentially bedridden. Like he was in constant pain.
Yeah.
And then I don't know the specifics in terms of the medication or the stuff that he was telling. Like I forgot that. You guys could read it, but but basically the doctor was trying to prescribe certain medication. They were putting on him a bunch of shit, and it wasn't working. He started researching stuff himself about like how the body combats certain illnesses and viruses, and he was just coming up with his own essentially like medications that he thought would be effective. But it was shit like vitamin C or like other stuff like over the table type stuff. And he told the doctors to try that. He basically wanted to experiment on himself. At first they were super like hesitant, denying it, but he was adamant. Then finally they slowly started doing it and it was working. The other thing he started doing was he noticed when he was trying to go to sleep, he was having a lot of trouble. He was in a lot of pain. The inflammation would get worse, even with the medication and shit that he was given. Yeah. So he was like started researching about like the placebo effect. Okay. So you know about that, like this idea, like just as an example, like if you were to give someone sugar pills but not tell them it's sugar, and then you say, if you take this pill, these are going to be the symptoms. You're going to get fatigue. You're going to get dizzy. Like majority of the time, just telling someone that and having them believe it would literally cause them to have the symptom. Yeah. Like they'll take the shit and then it's just sugar. But then in their mind, it's like causing these side effects and they would...
It's making me sick.
Exactly. Yeah. So he like thought about that ideology and thought to himself like, yo, what if you can do the opposite with that? Like, if someone can give you negative symptoms, can it also cause positive effects? Like, can I trick myself into believing this? Yeah. So some of the stuff he would do is before going to bed, the man would watch comedy films where he would watch shit that made him laugh. Yeah. And he noticed that he was able to sleep better just because he was in a better mood. Ooh, so he almost saw it as like, obviously it's not cause and effect. I'm not saying comedy healed him. Yeah. But it helped with his recovery process. Yes, yeah. You know, because when you're stressed out, your mind is like in fight or flight and shit. Keep that in.
I don't do any.
Yeah. But like, your mind is stressed out. You're in fight or flight. Like toxins are being released. So like naturally, your recovery is worse. Yeah. But now it's like, yo, you're in a better state of mind.
Yeah.
And your body is not in that state where it needs to fight off something or whatever, or run away from shit. So you're naturally just healing. So like that I thought was crazy. And like the other stuff that we talked about in terms of trauma.
Yeah.
And like slowly reintroducing the trauma to someone. There was this textbook, Psychology of Humor, that I like kind of read through as well. Oh, yeah, I'll show you guys.
Yeah. Higher?
Can you see it?
Yeah.
Blast. So like this book too, bro, there was like a passage that talked about exposure therapy. So that's like a actual thing in like cognitive behavioral therapy, where they reintroduce things that people might be scared of as a means to have them work through the feelings that might take place. So like the way it works is like, say, just an example, if someone like has arachnophobia and they're scared
How
of...
did you know I had that?
Do you actually?
I hate spiders, dude.
Bro, I love spiders, which is crazy. Yeah, I actually like, I used to hate them.
Yeah.
But now I genuinely like I won't touch them and shit. Like I'm not there. I'm not going to hold one. But I just like looking at them.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I can't look at them.
What happens?
What happened or what happens?
Both. I get, now that we're on it, what happened?
Okay, let's bring it up. No, basically,
I actually re-traumatized you on the podcast.
I know, right? No, it's so weird. So basically, when I was younger, you remember those like Guinness Book of World Record books?
Yeah.
Right. So in the book, obviously, they have the world record for the biggest spider.
Yeah.
Right. And so my younger brother, he would just chase me around with the picture of the spider. And ever since then, like, I just hate spiders. Like,
That's
I would
crazy.
have, like, every once in a while, I would have this, like, I don't know if it's an anxiety attack or a panic attack. And logically, I know it makes no sense.
Yeah.
But I'm like, what if it's possible?
Yeah.
Right? So, like, sometimes, like, it hasn't happened in a while, but, like, I'll be, like, in the middle of the night, I'll be, like, you know,
dead asleep.
no, not even sleeping, like just like at nighttime.
Yeah.
And then I'll be like, yo, what if I open this door and there's a 10-foot spider on the other side? And then that thought would just be playing over, and so I'll just have to stay in my room. Like, I can't. There's a spider.
It becomes dead ass real.
Yeah,
bro.
but
That's
like logically,
crazy.
I know that there's no way.
Yeah.
But I'm like, yo, but what if this is the one time?
What if, bro?
Yeah. So
what
like,
if it took the COVID vaccine and just
turned me into a spider?
Yeah, bro.
No, but like, so like things like that where like I said, I've actually worked through it a little bit. Like,
yeah.
So like I said, it doesn't happen as much as it used to, but like, or if I saw a spider somewhere,
yeah,
and I didn't get it killed, and it was like, it's somewhere in the house, it's gonna get me.
Crazy, fam.
You know what I mean?
Holy shit!
It's somewhere there. I don't know.
Yeah, bro. I mean, so that it's crazy that I brought that up as an example. I had no idea, but as an example, they would take someone that has like arachnophobia or any kind of phobia, and exposure therapy would be, they would start small. So they would maybe show you pictures, or they would even not even a picture. They might start off with like a story, right?
Yeah.
They'll tell you a story with a spider, but the way they'll do it is like, as they're telling the story, they'll ask you to pay attention to how you're feeling. And then like, you'll say like, instead of your thoughts, you look at your body. You'll do like a body scan. You'll be like, oh, I'm starting to breathe heavy. My palms are getting sweaty, et cetera, et cetera. So then they'll give you tools to like either breathing techniques or pay more attention to those things to calm yourself down. And then slowly you work your way up. Then it goes to pictures. Then it might end up being like,
then you watch a documentary.
Yeah, documentary, like shit like that, right?
Yeah.
So like that would be the slow start to exposure therapy.
Yeah.
They slowly expose you in little ways, but as they're doing it, you're also managing how your emotions are reacting to that.
Yeah, it's like you manage that level of fear, and you're like,
exactly,
here's the exercises, and he's like, okay, now I can handle that. I know that.
Yeah, exactly.
Breathe through it, and then like, all right, let's step it up, and then you deal with that.
Yeah, 100%. So what the chapter talked about was that they were trying to do that, but in a way where it's like, instead of like slowly showing you these things, they would try to make you like make fun of it. like like shit that made you laugh. So like if you were afraid of spiders, they would tell you like draw a goofy spider, or like you draw a spider with like a BBL or some shit, right? Like dumb shit like that. But it's like basically training your mind.
Some spiders already have BBLs. I don't know if you see the spider.
Yeah, bro. So it's like it's just making you like react in a way where it's like, how can I see this thing as less of a threat?
Yeah.
You know? Mm-hmm. Which I thought was sick, bro. Like, incorporating humor into that was wild.
So this humor book, it's not so much about, like, is it like how to write jokes? Or is it more like how doing things in a funny way helps?
Yeah, no, it's not about... It has nothing to do with actual, like...
No stand-up in there?
No, strategy of comedy.
I was thinking of that book.
No. It's legit, literally the psychology of it.
Okay,
like,
sick.
What are the things that make us laugh in a society? What are the shit that... Like, where does our concept of humor actually come from?
Yeah.
And then how do they use it in, like, therapeutic ways? Like, for me, this wasn't from the book. This was just, like, day-to-day experience. Like, even working at the youth shelter. Like... Yeah. I talked about this before, where it's like you're working with kids or young people that have come from, you know, experiences where they have immense amount of trust issues, or they have challenges being able to like create healthy relationships with other people, right? And humor, in a way, especially working with them, was a way to help bridge that gap or create a sense of safety. You know, because it's like, oh, this man's cool, like he gets it, Or on the other side, it's like you had to have thick skin because working with teens and shit, they're dickheads. Like, they're mean as fuck, bro. So it's like, if they're roasting you and you take it to heart or you get upset or like you show that you're angry, you're cooked.
Dang.
They're just gonna like, you know.
I know, like, I'm just going back to like school, like.
Yeah.
I wasn't the one doing the bullying.
Yeah.
You know? But I knew the men's that were.
Trust me, bro.
And it's not... They were, like, bullying the teachers, dog.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, dog. I remember this one dude, he was just, like, getting the teacher so mad. And, like, everyone knew that this teacher already had anger problems. Like...
And they just snapped.
He snapped. And it was the funniest thing.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Like he was like, if you got a complaint, write it on a piece of paper and throw it in the blue bin.
Yeah.
And then the kid actually does it. And then he's like,
bro, I'm telling you, bro. They feed off of that shit.
Yeah.
Like, I remember I was volunteering at a high school in Jamaica.
Really?
By the way, I love Jamaica, bro. Shout out to Jamaica, Kingston, and shout out to and shout out to Tarrant High School, bro. But again, like, these kids are like mad funny. And they were like having fun, but I remember I was trying to get them to settle down to do an activity. No one was having it, bro. They were like whatever. They got up and I got cheese, so I yelled. I was like, "Yo, sit down!" And then they sat down. They were quiet for like 30 seconds, and this girl from the back of the class stands up. She's like, "Sir, do it again." And I was like, "What?" So she's like, "Sir, yell again. That was funny." And I was like, "Oh my days, bro."
Oh yeah, those. Insane. Like, when I hear people saying that, like, oh yeah, I teach high school, I'm like,
yo, trust me, bro. And also the thing that I loved about the thing I loved about being there too was that, like, bro, Jamaican people have the best nicknames.
Yeah.
It's literally like, it's the most obvious thing that you feel like you shouldn't say. Yeah. Bro, remember I was chilling and someone yelled out, they were like, "Yo, Oney." Yeah. And I was like, "Yo, why you call the man Oney?" The man turned around, he had one arm, bro.
Oh my goodness. Of course.
Crazy. But yeah, man, that was the other thing. Like, I remember going to the shelter and these kids just roasting you, bro. Like, and you know what I mean? Like, that was the thing. Like, you had to be able to just have a quick comeback. Because if you could do that, it almost builds this level of respect.
Yeah, and they, like, back down.
Yeah.
You know, why am I going to pick on someone that's an easy target?
Yeah, exactly, bro.
This guy's got shots back. Yeah. Everyone's opening carries.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, exactly, bro. That was crazy, bro. But yeah, man, that's like, I guess that's good for episode 1, brother.
Yeah,
Fuck it,
I
bro.
mean, that was a nice 44 minutes.
Oh, shit. We didn't even know it went that long. Brother, I might be cut out for this podcast shit after all. Thank you guys for tuning in. Shout out to Dante. Ladies and gentlemen, that's been episode 1 of Creating Consciousness. If you guys want more tips, tricks, tools on mental health or any inspiration for your creative projects, you guys could tune in for episode 2. Peace and love, y'all.